All right, continuing on for Milestone 8, Week 12 for Scoundrel Scrolls. Um, one of the Some of the effects that I created were the donuts and pickups for the objects. I only implemented the pickups for the donuts. It's something that I could apply to other objects as well. Haven't done that yet though. Um, basically, a pickup object has that little halo around it, and that halo is randomly selected. These are two scripts that I attach to the objects. The pickup um, basically there is the sparkle animation is determined to be on or off based on whether it is a pickup or not. Uh, the chance of a pickup is determined in the Unity editor. Uh, so far, I've just applied a 50% chance, and it just generates a number and compares that number with the chance of being a pickup. If it is a pickup, then the pickup setting is turned on, and the pickup object is the collider, and the sparkle animation is turned on, otherwise they're kept turned off. And then there is a touch listener uh, paying attention to where the user touches, and if it is touched on the screen, it is added to the user's inventory and the object itself is destroyed. That was a pretty simple procedure to apply. I just needed to construct the object inside of Unity and then apply this short script. Now, the consuming a donut was a little bit more involved. Basically, it has a timer on it, and that's what this dark oval is up here. There is an object that I created. There's an animation, and as well as the donut pictures that I applied, and then I grouped those together into an object and placed that under the camera so that it would move as the character moves. It would move along with the GUI. Now, here it is loading in the pictures of the objects as well as the timer animation and so forth. Let's see here. There is 3 different donut categories. There's different parts to the donut that it can turn on and off, or the timer rather. And let's see here. If the character runs into the donut, he will be consuming it. In this code, I basically took over into the inventory as well. If the player taps on the button, this very similar code executes. Obviously, there are some differences. Now, the biggest thing that I had, this was one of the challenges I had this week, was this thing right here, that timer to turn off. What I had originally did was applied it to the donut and then ran the coroutine to measure the timer to turn off the boost from the effect. But what I did is I destroyed the object before this timer ran out. I was not aware that the coroutine is still attached to the object. So what I had to do is just figure out, experiment with different things that find out why the timer wasn't turning off. And then eventually, I need to put it after I originally had the destroy up here, but I had to move it down here after that waiting time is over. And then after the waiting time is over, the little donut that's displayed is turned off, the timer is turned off, and the stat bonus is reduced again. So, and then while playing the game, one of the things that I noticed is that you can eat several donuts and it will boost it several times. Um, so that can be dealt with in one way in the design of the levels, just making sure that they're not all bunched up together like I had done when I was testing it. So just make sure that those are working correctly. Now in the inventory, a very similar set of code here. What I had done, now the inventory is persistent, so I don't have to keep that timer going. And then there's a different way of removing the item. You're just removing it from the inventory list. And then down here on the use item, let's see here. Here's the timers here for turning it off and so forth. And that's placed under the use. We can see that the apple and the grapes and so forth are there. At the very top, the code for tapping a button. So it's there under the inventory list. Now the next item is the home acorn stash. When the user or the player character walks into the home, a new button is added to his inventory, and then there is a new type of button in the wardrobe that allows the transfer of the acorns from the wardrobe to the inventory. The version in the wardrobe I'm calling the the squirrel stash. So basically it's just an exception to the list of buttons in the inventory. If the button is the stash acorn button, it just takes the current on hand acorns and puts it into the set of acorns saved, and then zeroes out that. And then in the wardrobe it's just the opposite. So there's a button called My Acorn Stash, and you're transferring the stash to your on-hand acorns. And that's pretty straightforward. Okay. All right, one of the more challenging things that I had was moving the controls for the player to use. I was successful in a little bit with it, but I'd also wanted to be able to move the jump button. And I had originally written this code down here to have it swap in and out of different locations. But the jump button just wasn't behaving the way I was hoping it to be. So I went and commented out the jump button sections here. And that's what this is here. So only the movement pad can be moved, and since I don't want the movement pad to be above the jump button itself, I'm not giving the option to put it on the right side until I can figure out what to do with get the jump button to move to where I want it to be. Basically, what it is that the button in the settings screen will list the current position of it. And then based on that item, it will compare with the position of the jump button. And currently, it's always going to be 1. So sometime in the future, this other section of code will be included. But right now, it's just sitting there. And then basically, it will it is this set here. So it will either put the move pad in the center or put it on the left based on where it is currently. If it's in the center, we'll put it to the left. If it's left, we'll put it back to the center, and so on. One of the problems I had was in anticipating the zoom functions. I had played around with these functions here, and again was not getting the results that I was hoping for, so I will need to investigate it further. So there was a value on the move pad where I could just multiply it by 1, 0, or -1 and adjust the position of it, but the jump button wasn't doing that correctly, and I was running out of time for the due date and so forth. So I just said, okay, we'll just have a partial completion for this one, for this task. All right, running down through the requirements list. This milestone fits into the larger picture of the game as a whole in that it's basically the completion. I didn't finish everything, but it's the last few parts that I need besides the tutorial. Um, the adventure is complete. Uh, I need to fix bugs, but everything in the adventure is there. The neighborhood, I would like to expand it more, but it's serviceable now. Again, there's some bugs. The one brown bird is working very well. You can run back and forth, and he'll follow you or not follow you based on whether you're in trees and so forth. The second one, obviously, sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. That's in the neighborhood area. So I would like to expand that section there and just make it a bigger area to explore. I think a few of the sections I did meet the criteria very well. There's a number of sections that I did not. Looking down my list, let's see here. May section is good. Again, need to fix some little bugs, clean it up a little bit. Saving the information that the prize box is good. I would say that's running very well. I did not implement random locations. The push an apple, I'm implementing it in a different manner. I had originally intended to tap on a tree to drop an apple, but that quantity of apples out in front is fine. The birds, partially complete. I did not implement any blackbirds. I would like to apply some more behaviors onto the bluebirds. I made some animations of them running around, and I would like to demonstrate that and show that off a little bit. The donuts, mostly complete. There's some bugs that I need to fix. One of the things that I need to fix is when you exit a scene, those stat bonuses are taken as permanent, basically, so I need to cancel it on exiting the scene while the timer is still going, and some bugs there, so mostly complete. The acorn stash is working perfectly, 100%, as far as I'm aware. The positions of the controls, that's about 50%, and the zoom, not at all, because that's partially dependent on some of the things that I was doing with the position of the controls, taking the aspect ratio and the size of the camera, field of view, and so forth. So I don't think it will prevent me from moving forward. Everything there is serviceable, but conducting the usability test should be able to go forward, and hopefully I'll be able to clean some things up. Will I need to revisit? Yes, a little bit. But nothing is dependent on it, well, except for the zooming. Those two are kind of tied hand in hand. Talk to the code, I just did that. I showed one screencast. Let me get a emulator up here. All right, I have an emulator. This is demonstrating a Sony Xperia Z. We have Scoundrel Scrolls loaded on the emulator. So I'm going to go and click on that. And we see it starting. See the settings. And should be looking decently. So, and then we can go into the different areas. That is a little scrunchy there, so we need to fix that. Let's see here. There we go.